Hi everyone! So today I thought I would do a palette bingo using the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I was going to do a palette bingo and I couldn't decide what palette to use, and I actually have a Who's That Pokemon video that will be coming out probably Sunday. It was supposed to come out last week, but then Georgia wasn't able to have her video up, so we're just holding off until she's able to. And I did use this palette, so I don't really like to be that repetitive, not that it really matters, but anyway, I just thought that I'd mention at the beginning that I did do a look with this palette that will be up sometime shortly. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I talked about might end up being kind of repetitive. Hopefully not. Anyway, it might seem a little out of order, so for those of you who happen to watch both. But anyway, this is the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. You guys have probably seen this before, or at least a very similar color scheme. Like if you've seen the ColourPop Yes Please, there's a few other palettes that are very warm and beautiful like this one. And I just thought that it would be fun to do a palette bingo because I really haven't played around with makeup much at all recently. And I really want to do something sort of dramatic, maybe. We'll see. I always kind of say that it's going to start dramatic and then it usually ends up being very boring, very safe, very similar to a lot of the things that I do. So anyway, I'm going to start with this shadow right here as number 1. And so it's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, etc. So I have random.org up on my phone because that's how I choose to do it for the palette bingos. I'm just going to generate a number, so I have the minimum set as 1 and the maximum as 15 since there's 15 shadows in this palette. The first number I have is 3, and 3 is the white shade right here, and that is called Ice Gold. So this is a very boring shade to choose for a palette bingo because it's basically just the highlight shade. There's really not a whole lot else you can do with this. But anyway, next shade we have is shade 15, and 15 is the yellow shade. So I'm excited about that. I was hoping for some orange. Cashmere is after something around my feet. You can probably hear her. She's playing with a toy. So this is the yellow shade, which is called Soul. So it's a fairly safe. I'm hoping for some orange though. Like I really want orange. Okay, generate. I just got this fancy drink. It's just carbonated black iced tea. It's from a local company here, and this can really was very sunny and made me think of this palette. And when I was thinking about filming something, I really wanted to do something kind of lighthearted, but then I realized it was not going to end up being lighthearted. Anyway, I'll get into that in a second. 7. 7 is this gold shade. I think this is the most well-used shade in this palette. Well, this shade and this shade up here. These shades are very well loved. That gold shade is called Obade. Obade. A-U-B-A-D-E. Okay, so this is definitely not the color scheme that I wanted to play with this palette, but on the plus side, it's very different than the look that I did for my Who's That Pokemon video. So this is very pretty. I just really wanted the orange though. I mean, not like I can't incorporate the orange, but I really like to stay just with the colors that I picked. 6, and 6 is the brown shade right here. And that brown, going back to the overlay, is a volcano. This is not what I had in mind when I was thinking about a palette bingo. Like, this is definitely not the color scheme I thought that I was going to get. Like, there's this beautiful arrangement of oranges here, and even that red I thought that I would get. This is not, it's not very exciting, but Cashmere choosing now to destroy stuff. I apologize if you catch me looking at the viewfinder a lot. It's gonna happen. I still don't have a mirror. I haven't been able to find one that I can put somewhere in front of me that I can look at. And then I keep looking to the viewfinder just to make sure it's like, is everything okay? Is something out of whack? Anyway. This, I don't know if I like this iced tea. I just keep drinking it. And like the more I drink it, the more I'm like, I don't know, but I can't stop drinking it. Okay, we're just gonna do really basic glam. I think that's just what we're gonna do here. So, oh, I hate bringing out the tape again. I feel like I'm very predictable in bringing out the tape, but I like it. I like using the tape. What can I say? I suppose I can just freehand it. I feel like I'm gonna regret this tremendously. I've just found my old Natasha Denona glow. It's empty. It's still empty. I just like it for the mirror. It's easier to apply the product that way. All my other makeup is done, by the way, as if that wasn't already obvious. Again, I apologize because you can absolutely hear cashmere in the background. There's a lot of videos that I still am planning and wanting to do, but I keep thinking about them more than anything. It took so long to get ready to do this video because, oh, I think I had like 17 meltdowns while I was getting ready. That's just Cashmere, away from my lights, please. Anyway, sorry, very distracted because Cashmere keeps running around and there's all these cords every direction for my lights, so I just don't want her to run into anything and start dragging them. She's done that a few times already, where it's like she drags the lights down. I probably should have just done the tape. You know what? It's never too late. It's just a safety net for me, and where I'm talking, like if I was just doing my makeup in front of the mirror by myself, listening to music, whatever, it'd be one thing, but I'll embrace this. I'm gonna drag it out quite a bit, I think. We're gonna just put the tape at a different angle. But it's just the safety because I really wanted to talk more than anything, and that's why, like, I wasn't gonna film, and I've said this a few times, like, I get in those moments where I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna film, I'm just gonna leave it, and then I kind of force myself to anyway, and sometimes I regret it, but most of the times I'm glad that I ended up doing it anyway, because sometimes it's just good to talk. It's just good to get things out instead of keeping them in, and I've definitely been really sad recently. That's the only way that I can describe it. It's just really been sad. I've been very anxious. I've been very upset. I've been dealing with a lot of things all at one time. And it's hard. It's hard to manage everything. You know, sometimes I just try and keep things bottled up and I just try and push it away and ignore it and just kind of be like, oh, I'll tackle that emotion later. I'll tackle that at a different time. And then I just kind of keep pushing things away and pushing things away, and eventually it all catches up with you, and it's not good. So, and I wanted to talk in this video because sometimes I feel like it's easy to feel like you're completely alone, like you are the only person who feels this way, and it's so not true. There's so many people who are dealing with horrible things every single day. But it's so easy to convince yourself that it's just you, that it's just a you problem. So my anxiety has been really bad, and I haven't really been able to find many ways to cope right now. It's been a lot of just sadness. It's just, that's the only way that I can describe it. It's just sadness. And I wish it was better. Like, I have those moments where I'm just like, I want to be that person who's like sunshine. Like, I just want to be that happy person, and I want to feel positive and be positive, and I'm a cloud of darkness. But there's that part of me that wants to be positive, you know. Being positive attracts a positive. Happy people tend to attract happy people, and that's kind of the thing that I'm trying to focus on right now, because it's been a lot of broken people in my life. It's been a lot of people who have issues of their own and stuff that they're dealing with, and I don't need any of that. I need some healthy, happy, well-adjusted people in my life. And they seem to be few and far between. But I'm hoping that if I can bring some light out there, that I will get some back. Said it's a struggle. Like I've definitely had a few, more than a few meltdowns recently. And I don't mean, like meltdown's kind of the wrong word, I guess. It's just been, like I had a panic attack in the store. I was trying to go clothing shopping because everything just sort of caught up to me and it was not a fun experience. And I've been having those moments and I've definitely kind of been convincing myself that I'm like, yep, forever alone. That's how I'm gonna be. Not gonna have friends, not gonna have a relationship, just gonna be forever alone. And it's kind of crazy when you really think about it, because it's just my anxiety and all my cashier is going to crazy. It's just my anxiety, my fear. It's all that talking, and then because when you actually like evaluate situations, it's like it's kind of silly to feel that way, but at the same time, I don't know how I could feel another way because it's kind of what I know and the way that I've been. So anyway, I'm just piling on a lot of yellow in this inner corner. I like it. I'm bringing it like all the way up. This is kind of fun. And this is absolutely a very different look than I had envisioned going into this, but I'm digging the glamour, so my version of glamour. I just hope that things kind of work themselves out and that things can kind of stay. Hey, Cashmere, that's enough. Anyway, I'm just hoping that things can get positive, stay positive, and I just need there to be some good. And there's been so little good. And I'm always afraid when there's something good on the horizon that it's gonna go away. And I get super nervous about it. And then if something goes wrong, I'm just like, oh yeah, called it. Totally knew that was gonna happen. Totally knew I should never have planned anything. I should never have gotten excited for anything. Because that's my luck. I have no luck, just bad luck. It's like but you kind of make it a self-fulfilled prophecy because you kind of bring on the bad things. So I have a few things coming up this week. Like I'm really excited for some of the stuff that I have going on, like going to yoga and getting my hair done and record store day, because there's a new Fleetwood Mac thing and that's always good for me. That's always a recipe for goodness when there's something new from Fleetwood Mac. I've been definitely relying heavy on the Fleetwood Mac music. I've been trying to not rely so heavily on the Fleetwood Mac music, and I kind of was drowning my sorrows in some sad songs, and it doesn't have the same effect. Fleetwood Mac just sort of like erases all the world's problems for me. It makes me feel very happy. And I always feel like I'm gonna abuse it. Like I always feel like the effect is gonna go away, because if I listen to this music and I'm feeling sad, then I'm not gonna be able to listen to the music again, because I'm gonna have this attachment to it and I'm gonna associate it with these bad times, and it never happens. It just gets me through it. So there's definitely been a couple of days that have been pretty brutal, in particular, where I've just literally had my headphones on at all times. Like I'm sitting there at work with like an earbud in, just like, this is how I have to get through today. This is just how it has to be. And it works. It works. I can't explain it. You know, music is just that magical thing for me, that it truly makes everything better and helps me process things and helps me get through. So absolutely no complaints. No complaints about it, but it's just, it's funny sometimes. And I know some people don't understand it, but it's just true. that's what music does for me, how it helps. But yeah, so Record Store Day, it's an alternate version of Fleetwood Mac, the so-called White Album, the first album that had Stevie and Lindsay from '75. So there's the alternate version of it with outtakes, which was part of the deluxe version that came out not that long ago. But they tend to release these alternate versions on vinyl for Record Store Day because I have a few. Like I have alternate Tusk and alternate Tango in the Night. I think they had alternate Mirage. I can't remember what year that was, but they didn't actually have that at the record stores near me, and I went to like 5 of them. I remember walking around in the rain trying to track this down, and like, oh yeah, it's not that we're sold out, it's that we never had it. Like, oh, super, thanks. So I hope they have this one. I actually haven't checked. I should check the Facebook group for the record store that is close to me, just to make sure that they actually are going to have it in stock, because they had posted like a month or so ago like what people wanted to have in stock, and I commented about the Fleetwood Mac thing, so hopefully they at least got 1 copy. I always go super early. If it's something that I really want, I don't take any chances on not getting it. I went early every year. There's been a Fleetwood Mac thing, I've gone early, and I usually befriend the people ahead of me in line, because there's usually like 3 or 4 people ahead of me in line, because I do get there like half hour at least before it opens, and I'll befriend the people in line to figure out what they're after, and hopefully it's not the same thing I am. So far, no one that's been there that early has been into what I'm looking for, so that's been good. I don't have to worry about competition, fighting people down for that 1 copy, because if there was 1 copy, like, you better believe. I'm looking through the glass windows when we're lining up. I'm trying to spot it so I know where to go as soon as I walk in, so I don't have to like browse. It sounds insane, but it's what I do because there's limited quantities of it. It's not like there's hundreds of thousands of pressings of this, and it's not like they're gonna bring it back. It's usually limited edition, and this is what it is. You know, it might be like 15,000 pressings worldwide, go. And so I'm definitely pretty intense about it for my collection, because if it exists, I need to have it. I am loyal. You guys know this. You guys know I'm crazy. You know what? I'm not even gonna put lashes on because I'm not going anywhere. I need to like do a real get ready with me sometime where I actually am going somewhere so that I can do my makeup and go. Maybe before all that's going on this weekend. We'll see. I'll probably have at least some of my makeup done though. Like I said, I'm doing record store day and I'm getting my hair done, and then I'm going out and it's community day and all this other stuff. So I'll be hopefully having a very good Saturday. We'll see. All these plans. Just trying to blend out a little bit. Kind of want to extend that white shade a little bit more. I just feel like emphasizing it. Fantastic. That's just what I needed. I needed this because, like I said, it's been a rough month, really, and it's been hard to look forward to anything. It's been hard to be positive about a lot of things because I just keep thinking about the negatives. So looking to see if I had a gloss in here. I do. I know this is the same nude, boring lip I do all the time. This is Marc Jacobs. Sugar, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. It's just so pretty. I love this. I love that lip gloss. It's just one of those things that it makes me happy. I just had to double check if it actually was sugar, sugar, and I just wasn't making that up. I had already done highlight and contour and bronzer, and so I just used blush, and it was really old Makeup Geek blushes because I don't have any other orange blushes that I can find because I think I decluttered everything. So anyway, this is my completed palette bingo look. This was just a lot of fun. to do and chat, and I said I really wanted to just sort of push through it and do it anyway, even though I was sort of fearful for a while, and I was sort of having these conversations with myself in the mirror while I'm listening to like really sad songs, being like, I can't do this. This is, you know, I went through so many ranges of emotions before I even sat down to film, because that's what's been going on. But once I sit here, once I'm here in this space, it feels so much better. Although it all has been really weird because like it's a fairly open space. Like the space that I'm in right now is a dining room, and there's no doors. There's nothing to like block me off here. Like when I used to film in my filming room, it was a room, I could close the door, I just had my own little world in there, and it was a different experience entirely than being sort of open. I also sometimes have natural light in here too, which is cool. I feel like sometime I'm gonna take advantage of that when I can. You know, I could have potentially have done that tonight if I had gotten my act together earlier, but I did not, to no surprise. But anyway, I can feel it. I can feel it now, how much better I feel having gone through my pre-filming process, listening to music and crying, and even just doing the whole base makeup thing was very therapeutic. And then just sitting here and doing this, even though it's not, you know, spectacular, it still feels good for me. Like it feels good just to get into that routine again. And sometimes I feel like that is really helpful. And if there's something you enjoy doing that maybe you haven't done for a while, maybe just try to slowly immerse yourself back into it. It's so hard when nothing really brings you that joy anymore, when everything feels impossible, that it can be so hard just to start, just to take that first step. But if you can get there, if you can take that first step, even if it takes hours to do that, just try. Because then once you get there, it feels so much better. Like it took me, God, like 2.5 hours just to sit down here to do this. And I'm so grateful that I did, because I feel 10,000 times better. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry again for my absence. I swear I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to do what I can to get back into this, because it feels so good for me, and I hope that you still enjoy watching, even though I've been gone for so long. I do have a lot of videos that I still want to do and stuff that I will get back into. And anyway, I just would really love to chat with you guys and hear about how you are doing. How's life been? Have you been sticking with your no buy or low buy? If you're doing it, are you panning anything? Are you just playing with makeup? Have you purchased anything new? Just whatever's going on, anything good that's going on in your life, talk to me about it. But anything that even may not be so good. Maybe you just need to vent. Maybe you just need somebody to listen. I'm always here. So anyway, thank you so much once again. I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.